Today, I finally decided to do the video comparing the 98 WeatherWorks to my 1995 Windmere fan. As I've mentioned before, especially on Facebook, to me the WeatherWorks seem to have a strong resemblance to the Windmere fans. Apparently, the WeatherWorks was made by Q-Sing, I believe it's pronounced, while Windmere was actually part of Q-Horn. I don't know if they were competitors or if Q-Sing was a knockoff company. Either one wouldn't surprise me. So, as we can see, these fans have relatively similar builds. They have a similar color scheme. And even the stands are pretty similar. They have the little ornaments around the legs. They have the height adjuster, though the WeatherWorks one is much more smaller. And with the grills off, you can see that they also have the same type of blade nut. So it really makes me wonder if this was meant to compete with Windmere fans or not. I mean, I know that blade nut's not uncommon, but I just find it interesting that it would have the same type of color scheme and that blade nut. So these fans definitely have some similarities, but there's also quite a few differences. For one thing, as you can see, the badges are done in different styles. For the WeatherWorks, you can see that it just has the typical printed badge, while the Windmere actually has painted silver text on it. You really don't see that much anymore aside from Lasco. You'll also notice that the grills are different shapes. This one is more rounded, while this one is more angular. Even the motor housing is much more different. Yeah, I mentioned previously that this looks more like a Duracraft. You also see that you adjust the tilt with the knob rather than it clicking, unlike the Windmere. And of course, the Windmere has the rotary switch as opposed to the keypad. Though there are versions with this with the keypad switches. That said, out of the two, I'm going to have to say that I feel that the Windmere is actually a lot better built than the WeatherWorks. Yes, both of them have or made in China parts, but Windmere just seems to have a more durable build. I mentioned in the previous video that the WeatherWorks doesn't have the best blade pitch, and that the knobs are actually a little infamous for cracking over time. Not to mention it just overall feels flimsier. With that said, let's start as you can see, the WeatherWorks actually rotates a lot faster. Yeah, Windmere's going pretty slow and yet is blowing a decent breeze. Yeah, these are blowing just about the same airflow. like I said, WeatherWorks fans never seem to have the best airflow, and something just blew off. I mean, I'm not saying that the WeatherWorks is terrible, but it definitely is a cheaper fan of the 90s, especially when compared to the Windmere. Alright, and let's do oscillation for both of them. Oscillators work pretty well for both fans, though the WeatherWorks tends to creak, especially when the height is, when the tilt is, when it's tilting upwards. God, I can't talk. And we'll turn them off. So that is my comparison with the WeatherWorks and the Windmere, and I'll see you guys next time.